Hi, my name's Alison Lowry and I'm the artist in residence for April at the studio at the Corning Museum of Glass. My practice is normally looking at how objects can embody memory. We would do a foundation year degree in the UK and Northern Ireland, and I suppose I had an interest in textiles, so I would have done bits of embroidering and lace making and stuff like that. But it wasn't until my final year that I realised I probably wasn't really all that good at printed textiles. The sculptural stuff and those bits that I was sort of playing with alongside the printed textiles was stronger, and that was the way I wanted to go, and I started working with glass. So there was this lovely antique christening robe, and this piece of textile was probably about 120 years old. So it had all this family history sort of embedded within it. So I made a glass christening robe, sort of worked with that then, worked with the image of this little dress then for quite a few years, because I realised quite quickly that people didn't necessarily view it as a christening robe, they just saw it as a little dress, and then that allowed them to hang whatever they wanted to on the piece, and it allowed me then to work with this kind of iconic image of a dress in a variety of different ways. There was a series of glass pâte de verre bonnets, and the first one was called Jack Fell Down. This woman had put away this very, very delicate little Irish lace cap, little bonnet, which then I had subsequently found on eBay, like 100 years later. I started working with this little hat. To me, it kind of directly referenced a skull. And I'm always very interested in objects that kind of reference the human body and the lack of the human body in the space. My mother probably hasn't put away any of our clothes, but she was a dentist, so she put away our teeth. So to me, to present, the pâte de verre baby's bonnet, sort of skull-like reference with the baby teeth, just made sense. I came over here with the idea that I would look at where memory actually comes from in the brain, and specifically looking at traumatic memory. You can take these concepts, but then actually trying to realise them in an object or a visual form is quite tricky, because we don't have, the brain is just a spongy mash. There's no sort of visuals that you can work with. So I've been working with this mould. I made it immediately when I got here. I made a silicone mould of it, and then started working with this silicone mould, making wax brains, making ice brains, making brains out of plaster, and then developing those on then into cast glass and pâte de verre, which is crushed glass and glue packed in finely. When it comes out of the kiln, you break off all the bits of the mould, the refractory material, you chuck out the talc, and then you can start to cold work it. First of all, maybe with a sickle stone to get rid of any of the rough edges. And then I would take it into the sandblaster and try and make it just a bit more delicate, a bit thinner in places. I think this is something that comes out of my work that I can't kind of really control. I like pâte de verre because of that, because you can get, this sense of delicacy and fragility. Pâte de verre, to me, really allows me to reference textiles quite directly. I wasn't really sure about what I was going to be able to achieve over the month. I've never done an artist residency before. To have the fantastic facilities within the studio, was walking in having to pinch myself that I was actually here. I mean, it's just been a fantastic experience.